Alright, so we are now on the second part of our video tutorial for book cover design using Photoshop. So earlier we have opened our file, our new document. We've resized it, or we've made the size according to the portal book cover size, which is 600 pixels by 800 pixels. And then we have shown you how to work on your background images using auto tone, auto color, and auto contrast. So it shows you different tonality of your main image. So aside from that, you can also do it manually using your adjustment tools here on this drop down box. All you have to do is click image and then click adjustment, and it will show you the different adjustment tools which you can play on. I suggest again is in order for you to see the changes or not to overwrite the current image, you always go to your main image and duplicate that image, so that you will always have your original image saved somewhere or in there, so that you can always go back. So right now we're going to work on our main image. So here we have chosen this girl. We've got her from Freepik. There's a lot of other tools that gives you non-copyrighted images, but for this one at Freepik, you can just download her for free, and all you have to do, of course, is to acknowledge the contributor of the image. You can do that at the end of your book on the acknowledgement page. Now, so we're going to work on your background image here, as you can see. Again, if you're not yet satisfied with her, you can always use auto colors, auto contrast, or auto tone available with Photoshop. So here we're going to duplicate this main image. We're going to make 3 images. The first one we're gonna use auto tone, and then auto color, and then the other one is auto contrast, to see how it looks like. So right now they are all on your original image. So all you have to do is click image and go to, okay, make sure we click auto tone here, auto tone on auto tone layer here, go to image and auto tone. We cannot see, we remove this 2 first. So now this is the auto tone image. As you can see, it made the image brighter, cooler tone tonality. Now for the auto color, let's turn on that layer and go to that layer and see how it would look like if we go back to image and we click auto contrast. There you go. Oh, sorry, that's auto color. Auto color. So with auto color, it's almost similar to auto tone, but more blue. The other one was more green, as you can see. So here, this is auto color. If we remove this eye here, which indicates the layer's visibility, it looks like this. And if we remove that, this is the original image. So from the original image, when we click auto tone, it would look like this, and when we click auto color, it would look like this. Now for the auto contrast, again, turn on that layer, make sure that you're on that layer, go to image and click auto contrast, and with auto contrast you will have her contrast different from the other. So let's see the difference with auto contrast and the other adjustment or modifications that we did for the image. So auto contrast, when we turn it off, this is auto color. auto color, and this is auto tone. Again, turn on auto contrast. This is auto tone, and if we turn off auto tone, this is the original image versus the auto contrast. The auto contrast gives you more brighter, which there you go. So if we're satisfied with that image, we can just quickly copy her and put it on our artboard. So, but right now, what we wanted, we can also copy her and put it on top of our current image. So all you have to do is use the marquee tool here, with the rectangular marquee, and draw a big rectangular here. You will see that the image will be selected, and then of course click Ctrl C to copy that image and go to your book cover image, or you can also drag it there. Make sure, by the way, to turn on your auto contrast layer. Let's see, go back from your auto contrast. You can just quickly move it on this. As you can see, she's so big. All you have to do is click her, and maybe we can zoom out. That's Control minus minus, so we can see the transformation control. So this one, and when you click it, your transformation control will be on the top of your under your menu bar here. All you have to do, make sure that this chain is turned on to maintain the aspect ratio, so that when you make it smaller, fitting your artboard right now like that, it will not, or it will have the same aspect ratio. And then of course we can zoom in so we can clearly see how our image looks like. We can still make it a little smaller like that. I put some space surrounding it versus the background, so that I can later on easily I can easily put the text, so like that. And then if you're satisfied with the size that you have made, just double click it. There you go. Now after selecting the image, let's go zoom in. We wanted to remove the background. With Canva, they have the auto background remover, and of course I've also shown you another tool outside Canva, which is remove.bg. You can also use that here to quickly remove the background of your image. But of course with Photoshop, that's also possible. We can also easily remove the background of the image by using this selection, this magic wand or quick selection tool. So if you are in magic wand, all you have to do is right click that one and then use quick selection tool. So it will look like this, and on your quick selection tool, make sure that the plus button here is turned on, in order for us to make it bigger. You can also quickly select the subject by clicking select the subject like that. It gives you the less work, but at the same time some of the items are also not being selected. So all you have to do is go in, zoom in. So just click Ctrl plus plus. I normally use the space bar to move my my drawing board like this. I just click the space bar and move my mouse like that. So since I have selected the plus sign for the selection tools, I can just quickly select this part right here like that to include, because I still like that thing there. Oops, it's too much. That's too much. Okay, so that's the plus and minus selection. Let's make that brush a little smaller to 11 pixels and minus that. There you go. I want to add this a little bit. And remove that a little bit. So you can do like add and remove. My brush is still big, that's why it's still selecting their parts. So let's make that smaller and remove some of the other parts there. Yep. You can also still remove this other, oops. Just press Ctrl Z. There you go. Okay, and then you just click this mask tool, which is the one here with the vector mask here at the bottom next to your on your layer panel. So on your layer panel, just right below at the bottom, there's the delete, the add layer, add group. There's the create new fill adjustment layer, and then there's the add vector mask, and then there's the add layer style. Alright, we are now here to, we're back here to enhance our main image. So we're going to refine the edges. So we zoom in, that's Control plus plus there. And we wanted to remove some of this edges of her hair. As you can see, all you have to do is double click on this mask layer, mask vector layer, and this will appear. On your right hand side is the mask vector mask layer. We are currently at the transparency is currently at 74%. And for this, we're going to use the tools on your upper right hand side, which is the refine edge brush tool, in order to make this side look better. So how we're going to do that? Here you can change your brush into 20, or it depends on you how big the brush is. You can see it when you put it on your image like that, whether it's enough or it's not. So click this, make sure this refine brush tool is on, and you click on your image there. Okay, so it's now removing those unwanted image and showing your background instead. There you go. This one, we can make the brush smaller. Go. There you go. you can see some of the other image, the other hair appearing as you go on. See, to make it more natural. Just play with this plus and minus button here. It will remove and add some of the image for you. There you go. And then you can find this edge here. There you go. Once you're done and once you're satisfied with your image, you just click OK. There you go. You can see her natural hair flying out on the side like that. Okay. Now we'll work on how we're going to blend her in on our background. What I normally do is I just duplicate that layer. There you go. So I always have the original. Okay. Alright, so for this one, we're going to work on our image. I normally use stylize. I use oil paint to blend my main character to the background image, and also to have that drawing look of my character. So here at the oil paint, I put my lighting at a -60 angle, and on the shine I am currently at 0.1. I can make that bigger. You can see here the preview of how it would look like. So if it's very strong, you will have that texture on her skin, which we don't like really. We only want her to look like a painting. You can, by the way, move this so you can see her face there. You can also make adjustment on the bristle, but sometimes it doesn't show much. And also on the scale, you can see when you make the scale bigger, you can see those like brush stroke on her face. So I normally just make it very small, that 0.3. And this also shows you how painting it is. So as you can see, this is how sharp our image is, and this is, if we put it at 10, this is how she would look like, but that's not what we wanted. So we can just go back there. We still need to have her eyes clear as possible. We just need her skin tone to look more like a painting. So those are the options that you can use, but if you don't want to do this, you can just move on to the next. So but for me, I normally use this tool to stylize my my character. There you go. So that's the difference. You can just quickly see the difference. Sharp and non-sharp. Sharp, and this is sharp, and this is the liquefied character. You can see her skin like that. And then I normally just clean it a bit by using the smudge tools. Just press Ctrl C if you didn't like what you just did. Okay, so just to start, I normally start with the clear one. I normally make this modification of my image so that it would look more painting like, but that's my preference. Of course, different people have different preferences. If you don't like to do this and you're already happy with your image, you can go ahead and do the next step. So I'm just cleaning up her skin a little bit. You can also use this to clean up some of your photos. This is the smudge tools. You can make your brush bigger. There you go. Normally I just follow the direction of the stroke there, so that it would be easy. Okay. Oopsie. So let's go back to that's how it looked like. This is your original. This is how she looks like right now. Okay, and then what I normally do is I blend her in. So as you can see, on this right hand side there are different blending option which you can choose. So after I made her like a painting, I normally put her on overlay mode and I reduce the opacity. I just reduce the opacity, something like that. So I put it at 29-30%. There you go. I just duplicate it again and use You can use other tools if you want to experiment on how she would look like. Okay, so as you can see, this is how they would look like. So this is the original image. Let me just duplicate this layer and create the original layer going normal. Hold on, I want to duplicate this layer, the one that I painted, and make this the original layer, normal layer, the painted one. So this is your original image. This one is the painted one with 37% opacity. I can make that even stronger, like at 50 or 60. And then this is your overlay layer. It gives you that color, stronger look. And this one is screen. If you want to remove your overlay, this is how she would look like with only the screen layer there, blending option. Okay, she looks so white. Okay, don't forget, so when you work with your blending of layers, you use this blending mode, and then of course work on your opacity. On the opacity, when you go lower, it goes darker, go higher, it goes brighter. So we're using screen. If you use multiply, it's vice versa. On the opacity, when you go up, it goes darker, when you go down, it goes lighter. Okay, okay. Alright, so now that's how your image look like. We can see, if you wanted to see how she looks like without the painting layer, that's how she looks like. You can see her skin here compared to the skin here. This is without the overlay blending mode. Okay, I like it like this. There you go. So our next step will be adding more elements, like some magical elements, let's say flare or fire, and then putting on the text. Alright, that's it for now. So on this tutorial, what we did is we have worked on our main image. We have refined the edges, we have removed her background, refined the edges, we made her skin smoother, and we use some blending mode options to make her look stunning on the image. Okay, I'll see you on the next part of the tutorial, wherein we're going to work on different other accent element, and also on working on text.